So today I am going to be going through my glue drawer. It just felt really cluttered and I don't know if I just need to organise it or get rid of things, and yeah, I thought that I would do it on camera and talk about the different types of glues. I did know that I needed to declutter some of my fine tip bottles because I've been trying out a few and I've got to the point where I know what does and doesn't work for me, and I thought that I would share that because if you're a new crafter and you're trying to buy supplies and build up your stash, glues can be really expensive and you might not have the budget to build up your crafty stash and your glues. So I thought that I would share that in the hope that maybe some of you might learn something that you haven't tried before. And this is just my opinion though, so if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. So I'm going to try and just state the pros and cons as I go through stuff, I guess. Okay, yeah, where to start? I literally just pulled everything out of my glue drawer and dumped it on my desk and hoovered it out so it's all nice and tidy, ready to put things back. I think I'll probably start with the things that I would not recommend and that I probably want to get rid of. So the first obvious thing is probably this. I bought these from Hobbycraft online. They were £1 each. I just hate them. I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to open them because I actually want to return it, and I've unfortunately thrown away the one that I had used. But basically it has a sponge tip applicator like a Dauber, which when I first got it was great. I was like, oh, this is really easy. But you can't control the amount of glue that comes out, and I just seem to be making a lot of mess. It also sometimes wrinkled my paper because it got the paper too wet, and it just goes everywhere. It's too liquidy. It's not, it's a bit like, if you imagine the consistency of glossy accents, but it being more, it doesn't hold its shape, it just goes everywhere. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but the long and short of it is, I can't personally think of any card making or scrapbooking endeavour where this would actually be a good thing. Unless maybe you're doing it with kids and you're not wanting to be too precise maybe, and it's not too expensive, so that might be a use for it. But even just thinking pros and cons, I don't know if it's archival, it doesn't say, it just says non-toxic, so it washes off clothes, so I think it's aimed at the kid market. Yeah. Sorry, I just don't like this one. I'm not going to pretend to because I'd rather be honest. Okay, now the next category I'm going to go on to is the fine tip glue pens, which I'm going to choose. These are the fine tip ones. I think these are the chisel ones. Let me just check. Yeah, right. So these are the fine tip ones that I have. Out of these, the only one I actually like is this one by Zig. I like it because you can squeeze it and you can control a bit more the amount that comes out. This one's okay, I don't mind it. With these two, I like the fact that they dry tacky, so you can add glitter or foil, and that's quite nice. I also have this Quickie pen by Sakura, Quickie glue. I don't like this one at all. It's okay for glitter again, but I wouldn't use any of these to attach embellishments like gems or sequins or little plasticky things, because in my opinion they're just not strong enough. So unless you like to write your own words and put glitter on them, or you like to add tiny foiling details, I probably wouldn't bother with these. Although I do find this one quite handy to have in my stash. I have used this with my splash book when I took it away on holiday to document my holiday while I was there, and it was quite handy for small bits of paper, like if I cut out a little paper flower, it wasn't too big, it didn't take up too much space, and you get a bit more glue out of it than you do the other two. So I will be keeping this one and probably getting rid of the other two. And if anyone wants to try these other two, I would happily send them to you. I hate throwing things away. Okay, the next pens I have are these two. I've also used the thicker version of the Zigs. These are okay. You don't get a lot of glue out of them. When you put it on, the glue is blue and then it dries clear, but it remains tacky so that you can add like glitter or whatever you want. And it's temporary, but if you stick your glitter or whatever on while it is still wet, then it's permanent. I don't really trust that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just not a massive fan. And I pretty much think that was dead anyway. I bought this new one. I actually thought it was one of those squeezy glue pens, and it wasn't. It's a chisel tip. It's brand new, I've not used it. I probably won't use it. So if anyone wants that, you are welcome to have that as well. If no one wants it, I might keep it to use in my scrapbooks when I'm out and about, but I'm not really that bothered. These are some glue sticks I have. I have the Smash one that comes with, I can never get the end off of this thing. It comes with the Smash book. Oh, there you go. It's a bit gummy. I have had it a long time though, so it might just be that. And it's got a pen on the other side, that's quite handy. Yeah, it is what it is. I have used that on my Smash book, it was okay. But I then purchased a proper glue stick from Stick It, just because that one is a bit old and it's gone gummy. And I do use this glue stick in my Smash book, but I'm not a massive fan of glue sticks, to be honest. I don't find they get the same amount of adhesion, and it's really hard to apply into intricate areas. But the good part of it is it's not too wet, so it doesn't wrinkle the paper. So if you're doing like a photo or a background piece of paper, it's actually not too bad for that. So that's what I keep it for my Smash books. The other glue pens I've tried are the glue tubes. I've tried the Stick It ones. I bought these on Every Craft Pound for £1. I've bought this one at Crafty Yellow, I think, but you can get them everywhere. I wouldn't pay more than £1 for them. The only thing I don't like is the nib actually split. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but yeah, I don't know what happened there. And now I'm getting to the end of this, I'm actually finding it quite difficult to get the glue out. I don't know if it's just because it's dried because mine's split, or if that's a normal thing. And the other thing is, you do get some kind of accuracy with the nib, but it's not fine by any stretch of the imagination. So it's quite difficult to use for gems. I usually squeeze a bit off and apply it with a cocktail stick if I'm desperate. But again, I have other glues that I'd much rather use for gems. But they are handy to have in your stash if you're travelling and you don't want to carry a massive tub of glue. So I will keep these and use them up and probably not buy them again. Okay. What else? I don't know where to start. Okay. I'd probably say my favourite glue that I've tried so far is the Ranger Multi Matte Medium. I like it because it doesn't show up too much if you add too much on. So like if you're adding a gem and it spurges out the side, it's not too wet because it's gel consistency. It's great for what's the word? Mixed media. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's great for mixed media. It's good for collaging, art journaling. My favourite thing for this is sticking on my gems and sequins and things to cards because it doesn't show up too much, as I said, if I put too much on, but also it actually holds them really well. And this is probably the only glue I've tried that I can say that about. I know some people are a fan of the art glitter glue. I've not tried that, but I hear it's very good. Yeah, I like this one. So I'm probably going to stick with that unless I find out it's not vegan or something. But so far that's my favourite. I actually need to throw this away because unfortunately I lost the tip and it's gone hard, but I thought I would show it to you because it's something that I would recommend. So this is called Fray Stop and it's by Impex. And the reason why I have this is for fabric and for ribbon. So sometimes when I cut my ribbons on a card, like I'm doing a bow, even though I cut them at an angle, they still sometimes fray. And I noticed it a lot when I was doing my friend's wedding invitation. So I bought this to just run along the edge of the ribbon to stop it fraying. And it's been pretty handy to have in my stash. So I do usually keep a bottle on hand. It comes with a little cap that you put on top to seal it, and that usually works fine if you don't lose it like I did. Another tip I would suggest if you're going to buy this glue and use it is to cut the tip at an angle. It's just easier to apply on the edge of the ribbon. I didn't do a very good job, but it is slightly angled. So yeah, I would recommend that, but if you're a new crafter and you don't use a lot of ribbon, you probably don't need this, but it's handy to have. It also works great on organza and tulle if you're making things with that. Okay. The other glue I have tried is the Cosmic Shimmer Flake and Glitter glue. This is alright. That's about all I can say about it, to be honest. It was $3.99 I think for this small bottle. It gets clogged all the time, which annoys me. But the glue itself is alright. The tip on the bottle itself is not too bad, it's quite small. But as I say, it constantly gets clogged and I ended up sticking a pin in it all the time. But the glue's alright, I don't mind it. But I don't prefer it to my multi-matte medium. But if you can't get hold of multi-matte medium, this is probably my second favourite. The next two glues I have is Glossy Accents and Nouveau Crystal Glaze. Now, the reason why I'm including the crystal glaze is it's not technically glue, but I only use these to add like a glossy sheen to my projects, so I'm kind of including them both. This one here gives like a lower bump. It's like smaller amount of dimension. It dries a lot quicker, it spreads a lot easier because it's thinner, and to be honest this has become my new favourite. But it's not as dimensional as this one, so I still have this in my stash. This is probably going to last me forever. Yeah, you do get a lot more dimension with this one, but if you were to have this one, you can layer it up. Yeah, I don't know if that makes a difference to you or not. The tip on the bottle, to be honest, it doesn't look amazingly fine, but it's been good enough for me to do everything. I've not needed to decant it into anything, so I was quite surprised by that and happy that it worked without needing another bottle. But this one, the nib was too wide, so I purchased recently this tip from Craftiella. Please watch my whole video before you buy from them so you know what you're getting yourself in for. That's all I'm going to say. I love this tip. is really good. I like the fact that it's not too long, so I haven't got to try and line it up on some massive long needle point. It's just perfect, to be honest. This hasn't clogged since I've bought it. I like the needle in the middle. It doesn't get stuck in there because it's attached to the top of the lid. Why can't I think of that? And the thing that I liked about it a lot is that you don't have to take the original nib out. You just literally stick it on top. So if I ever wanted to return it to its original state, as long as I keep the original lid, I can just take this off and clean it out and leave it to dry and put the lid back on it. So you could technically use this on multiple bottles, but I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna leave it on this one. "50 awesome points to everybody who got this far in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can find out when I release new videos. And there are a couple of videos here for your delectation if you so desire.